Last year, I was interviewing an American scientist who had grown up in China, in Taiwan. Now we're talking with the same American scientist, but now are here and invited me to Germany and Frankfurt.
Willkommen in Deutschland.
Dankeschön, Dankeschön. For those of you who have missed our previous video together, who are you and why are we in Germany of all places?
So my name is Emma. Name is a coincidence, but I do work for Emma, the sleep company, a senior sleep science manager here at Emma. This is our headquarters here in Frankfurt.
Now, like 6 months later, how much of Taiwan do you still remember? And what is like the first thing you think about when I say Taiwan?
Ooh, the first thing I think about is food, probably, which I guess is a really good answer.
That's a very Taiwanese answer, yes.
Yeah, but I had such a nice time every day after work, going to like night markets or like getting street food out and about. I had so much good vegetarian food there, which was so nice. Noodles, scallion pancakes, lots of delicious food. So I think about the food a lot.
How is German or European food versus like Taiwanese food?
I mean, I certainly like Taiwanese food more. I'm not a huge fan of German food, which is a little bit of a struggle being in Germany, but...
Yeah, if you're vegetarian, like the only thing I know is like döner kebab.
Exactly, exactly. That's my problem.
Yeah.
Taiwan, I would say, had a lot more options as far as vegetarian food goes.
After coming back from Taiwan, what was like the first thing you said to your friends or family asking like, how was Taiwan?
Well, I said it was good. I think probably, especially for family, we talked a lot about similarities between Taiwan and China and then differences. So my mom especially was really interested to know, like, what did you notice about the accents in Mandarin? She doesn't really speak that much Mandarin, but she knows, of course, that like different places have different accents.
She was the reason why you were growing up. Of course.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah. That never crossed my mind actually. That your parents would be very familiar too. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. My mom and I especially really miss Asia in general. So we talk a lot about nostalgic times and what we did when we lived in China. So that was one of her first questions. Of course, a lot of friends asked about the food.
If you have not been to Taiwan since October, I feel like you're long overdue to have some more Taiwanese, maybe not food, but some Taiwanese snacks and fruits. And being a good, I would say Taiwanese guest, and I feel like I'm a Taiwanese guest right now, not Swedish guest. I, of course, brought some fruits and snacks that I wanted to give to you, see if it is as you remember it from your days back home in Taiwan.
Mango?
I gotta try it. Yes. This is why I insisted that we try it now, so I also get a taste of home. Yeah. Did you have Taiwanese bubble tea?
Yeah.
This is my way of saying thanks because you guys actually gave me an extra blanket. Biggest argument me and my fiance has ever had. Who should have the Emma blanket? Because it's ridiculously comfortable. Tang, milk caramel. I'm gonna take that too. When I think about Taiwanese candy, this is like my number one, at least favorite candy.
This is also one that I associate with like older people, like as an old classic at least in Shanghai. Like I always saw Tang.
It's the Taiwanese version to like Werther's original here.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Last but definitely not least, a must-buy souvenir if you're coming from Taiwan. Pineapple cakes, which I assume that you also had as well.
I had, and I brought them back for the office here.
Oh, what did they think?
They liked it. I think I brought like 3 or 4 boxes of pineapple cakes back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I had some for friends, for gifts, had some for the office.
And how many for yourself?
Enough.
I know you already told me this last year, but you're a sleep scientist. It sounds made up. Like, why do we need a sleep scientist?
We don't actually understand that much about it, about what makes us fall asleep and then wake up. It's kind of crazy when you think about the fact that a third of our day, basically, as adults anyway, goes off into the abyss and we don't know anything about what's going on inside of our bodies or inside of our brains during that time. So sleep science as a discipline is relatively new. Why Emma specifically needs a sleep scientist is because we don't just want to make blocks of foam that people can lay down on and feel comfortable on. We want to actually understand how those blocks of foam and the things that we put on top of them, like sheets and duvets and pillows, contribute to enhancing sleep for the general population and how we can actually help people improve their sleep with products, with services, with education, for example, temperature regulation.
Last time you said like you should put the AC to like 20 degrees. assuming that like all these like basic requirements are like covered, is there anything else that could like improve the quality of sleep for like the mass audience or like in general?
Sun exposure. So the part of your brain that regulates your circadian rhythm, your internal clock, one thing that can really help to regulate your circadian rhythm and your energy levels throughout the day is perceiving natural sunlight outside, because your eyes have cells inside them that are called retinal ganglion cells. They are responsible for perceiving the different wavelengths of the natural light outside. For example, morning light typically skews more towards the blue end of the spectrum, whereas evening light typically skews more toward orange. So even though you might not consciously perceive it, your brain, however, receives cues from the retinal ganglion cells in your eyes that tell it the light you're seeing right now is more blue, i.e., it's morning time. It starts these natural processes like producing more cortisol, producing histamine to wake you up, and reducing the production of hormones and neurotransmitters that make you more sleepy. 20-ish minutes of exposure to natural sunlight in the morning can be a really good way to naturally help yourself wake up. You can do that while you're having coffee on your balcony, for example, or just walk to work in the sun. And then conversely, exposure to light in the evening, the light outside now is more orangey. That means it's evening. That means it's time to start the processes that are associated with winding down, like melatonin production.
Having a coffee in the morning, is that something that it's recommended, or is it not recommended but not that big of a deal? Or is it like you should not do it?
I drink a lot of coffee, so I would be a hypocrite if I said...
Hypocrite, yes.
No, coffee is perfectly fine. It depends on timing and quantity. So what coffee does basically from a biological perspective, we have a chemical in our brain that builds up called adenosine. And adenosine is the neurotransmitter that makes you feel sleepy. Coffee basically just blocks your brain from perceiving adenosine. Once the coffee goes away, the adenosine is back and probably stronger than ever because it's had time to build up.
That was my next question. Is it, because I've heard that it's supposed to be stronger afterwards. So it's like it's a temporary solution to a non-existent problem.
Exactly. So the adenosine is still there. The sleep need is still there. What is different is that your brain temporarily cannot perceive the adenosine. But what's also important to know about coffee is that it actually stays active in your brain for about 10-ish hours. So it has quite a long lifespan. For different people, that means different things. Some people are genetically predisposed to metabolize caffeine more quickly, some more slowly. So some people find that they can drink a cup of coffee at 6 p.m. and go to bed at 10 p.m. 4 hours later, and they sleep just fine. And then some people might find that they drink a coffee at noon and they can't go to bed at 10.
How much does actually like a mattress, the perfect pillow, the blanket affect? First of all, how big of importance is it? And how do we know that we have like the right sleeping equipment for ourselves?
I'd say the products themselves are about 50%, and the habits and your schedule and what you say, all the rest is the other 50%. So quite important generally. The product itself has such an influence on what you call the other things, like your temperature regulation, motion isolation. Cheaper mattresses or older mattresses are typically connected to each other. The springs are all connected, so that means if you push on one, all of the other springs also move because they're all tied together, which obviously can reduce sleep quality for people who share a bed. If one person moves, then the other person feels it on their side of the bed. Generally speaking, you want a mattress that provides proper support for your specific body shape and body type. So it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. Different people and different ages and different sexes and different cultures need slightly different or expect slightly different things from a mattress.
If I would just go in a showroom and do the typical push down with my hand to feel which one is more comfortable, I would never have picked the hybrid mattress that is giving me better sleep. How do I know which bed works for me without maybe going actually try them all out for 100 days and then returning them?
That's what I was gonna say. Ideally, you would have the opportunity to try the mattress for at least one night, but ideally a couple nights because it takes you time to adjust to any change in your sleep environment. For example, a 100-night trial policy where you can then return the mattress if you don't like it, which we have. Because as you said, what you're experiencing in the showroom when you lie on the mattress for 2 minutes is maybe not going to be the same as what you experience after you lie on the mattress for 8 hours. Bring somebody along with you and have them look at how you sink into the mattress when you lay in different positions that you usually sleep in. And by the way, if the position you sleep in is on your stomach, please try to change that.
Oh, that's not...
No.
That's
what? Really...
What?
I
no.
know. Why are you a stomach sleeper?
I go through stages. So I never try to sleep on my stomach. I try to sleep on my side. But then sometimes in the middle of the night, I just wake up and I was like, I just feel the need of like, I have to have my right arm back like this. And then I sleep like with my head on like on the other side.
Interesting. And how does your neck feel after you sleep that way?
Well, not great. Not great.
But if you're a side sleeper, a back sleeper, have somebody go with you to the store. When you lay on the mattress, have them look and try to like draw an invisible line along your spine and see if it's sinking too much into the mattress, not enough into the mattress.
So the importance is not how much you sink in, it's just to make sure that your spine is like straight.
That's exactly. Okay. If you're not looking to switch out your pillow, bring your pillow from home, put that on the mattress, then you can have the full effect.
Oh, wow. That has never crossed my mind, that I should bring my own pillow to there. Is there any certain number, as in like you should try to get a new bed every X number of years? Or how does it work like throughout a lifetime? Because I'm only considering buying a new bed when I move apartments. And I feel like that's not really scientifically based either.
Mattress, the recommendation is typically every 8 to 10 years. Previously, that used to be because when mattresses were made of, for example, springs, gradually, of course, they get compressed over time. Nowadays, we have new foam technologies, we have memory foam. The same concerns aren't really valid anymore. Like the springs that we use even in the hybrid mattresses are protected by layers of foam. Things don't get, let's say, flattened out so much over time. But what the gross truth is that the 8 to 10 year recommendation is for hygiene reasons, because you spend so much time on your mattress. All of the dead skin cells and the dust mites and all of the lovely, disgusting things, the sweat that gets absorbed into the mattress gets to unhygienic levels after about 8-ish years of normal use.
Highly recommend Emma Mattress Protector. Still, if you put it like this, I feel 8 years feels very gross.
Yeah, try not to think about it too much, but like put a little event in your calendar for every 8 years. Ooh, 8 years have gone by, time to replace my mattress, because it really is, once you start thinking about it, pretty disgusting.
Another question, maybe I'm putting you on the spot here, but I've been talking about like Emma in my previous videos, and hopefully my audience is very well familiar with all different kinds of Emma mattresses. One thing with the diamond mattress specifically is that you're focusing on like it has a great like air ventilation, and it lowers like the temperature. Can't you just lower the AC one more stop to sleep just like in a colder room overall? Or like what would the benefit be of having a mattress specifically tailored for such like niche thing, basically?
Yeah. So we have, of course, the general climate of your room, which is affected primarily by, for example, the AC, whether it's on or off, or if you open the windows or ventilate the air, things like that. But then you also have the microclimate of your bedding, and why that can be different is because you are a source of heat yourself, your body. And that heat typically just dissipates off into the air around us. What the bedding microclimate does is basically traps all of that heat in the microclimate, in the area of the bed. When you have a duvet over you and a mattress underneath you, all of those materials are basically compressing the heat around your body and keeping it trapped there. One thing that we look at for the mattress, and in particular for the diamond degree, and that's one of the technologies that we patented here, is the layer of foam on the top of the mattress to make sure that it is capable of dissipating the heat that your body naturally generates and then basically forces into the material on the top of the mattress more quickly. Basically pushing that heat away from your body and keeping it away from your body, rather than basically letting it get trapped in the little space between the duvet and the mattress and circulate all around you and increase as the night goes on.
I never thought about that. Yeah, you're kind of like your own little like radiated like ecosystem, like sandwich in between everything.
Yeah, exactly.
In Taiwan, it's very popular to go like camping, where you have your tent and you put like, you know, a whole family into a tent, which it gets like super warm and stuff like this. From a science research perspective, sleeping on like air mattresses, how does those things affect your sleep as well? Is there like any recommendations here?
The air mattress, it depends a bit on what it's made of, like what material actually, obviously the air is made of air, but what material the mattress itself is made of, whether it traps heat or not, because some materials, like especially the ones that are very synthetic, like plasticky types of materials, can trap heat very, very, very easily. If you're in a hot climate like Taiwan and you're like 5 people sleeping on one big air mattress, then you might end up feeling a little bit too toasty. But to be said about camping, there have been studies done on the effect that camping and being out in nature has on sleep, and it's generally very positive. So there's studies on, for example, people who go camping for a weekend, and in just 48 hours, you can see a marked improvement in sleep quality and basically a resetting of your circadian rhythm, because you're spending so much time. It comes back to the sunlight thing. You're spending so much time in nature, in natural light. You're not being influenced by city lights, like artificial lights. You're probably not spending as much time on your phone, all of those kind of things. So you're basically giving your body a chance to naturally reset itself and align more closely with the natural environment and the light the comings and goings of daylight, basically. So that could be one thing too that helps people who are having trouble with aligning their circadian rhythms properly. Go camping.
Perfect.
Yeah, pretty cool.
But then as soon as you come back from a camping trip, please do head over to Emma's website, where they now have a special promotion going on. And as always, please do remember to use my personal coupon code so you get 10% off all the purchases on Emma as well. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Lukas. Starts with L as in like, ends with S as in subscribe. Please do both, and see you all in the next one.